Welcome back to some more Monster Hunter Wilds. Last night, Capcom decided to release the benchmarking tool for Monster Hunter Wilds, so I thought that's pretty cool. A lot of people in the community asked for it. It is interesting. I don't know if it will absolutely, truly reflect the end product, considering it's still like, I don't know, a little over 2 weeks, 3 weeks until the game comes out, and, you know, NVIDIA hasn't released drivers for the game yet, and whatnot. This is the standard settings for me, I think. Ultra DLSS quality, ray tracing off, no frame gen. I was thinking we'd run it native actually. So can we do that? DLLA native, that's the only setting we changed. And then let's hit it. Because obviously, you know, if you turn on ray tracing, that's going to tank performance, or I mean, at least it should, depending on how they optimize the game. Right? Normally, ray tracing tanks performance, and the same thing with.
As soon as we find a good spot, we can get things set up and ready to go, and then we can get started.
Path tracing, or you know, the highest ultra settings, right? Frame gen normally adds latency. Let's see if we have latency here now. No, yes. I don't know why there's maybe it's the DLLA just adds latency regardless. On ultra settings. And DLSS quality or whatever might also add latency. I don't know. But frame gen tends also to add latency. So if you're not above 60 FPS, it's generally, in my opinion, not a good experience, simply because this is a action game. Like, you need to dodge roll, you need to outspace, reposition so the monsters don't hit you. And if there's latency and input delay and lag, whatever you want to call it, it's not going to feel good, and it's slowly chipping away at your chances of hitting these dodge rolls that you need to hit, or counters, or backspacing, blocking, or whatever the mechanics certain weapons will have in this game. Like, picture this, if you're just using the heavy bowgun with the shield, I don't know if it's going to be in this version of Monster Hunter, but, and then let's say you need to hit the left trigger to aim and look at the monster attack hitting you, but there's latency now, and now you're too late by a second, and now you get hit. Well, normally you don't have to left trigger aim and look at the monster attack. You just need to turn and look at the monster attack, like hip fire, basically, like non-shouldering. And then, you know, you could definitely get more performance out of this by turning on frame gen, or DLSS quality, or AMD FSR, or XeSS balanced, or performance. And, you know, some people will play in 1080p, other people will play in 4K, and we're using 1440p, or I'm using 1440p. Simply because, you know, at least with the hardware I have, I don't think 4K is there yet. Now, that doesn't mean you can't play 4K and be happy with it if you turn on the DLSS technology or whatever. What is happening in the distance there in the sky when the transformation? That was pixelated and blurry, and this is supposed to be native. It is odd though, because when you run this benchmark test without HDR turned on, this whole area is way more orange. But if you turn on HDR, it's more yellow. I don't know if that will actually reflect on the recording and YouTube, and depending on your display. I'm not sure how that works. Because I do know when you run HDR in a full screen game, capturing with OBS, it's like faded out gray, white, washed. The colors aren't accurate. So I don't have any experience with that. I'm assuming there's probably a color correction filter or something you can apply in OBS, a setting like that. Never really tried that. It's pretty new to me. Right down the distance. I think you lose about 10-15 FPS if you turn on ray tracing to the highest level of ray tracing. We can definitely compare that because I have screenshots from earlier. I already ran the test like 3 or 4 times, like once with the no anti-aliasing native, and then once with DLLA native anti with all the settings maximum, and then one time with frame gen just to see frame gen with quality preset, which, but that's them fake frames. And I'd rather play with less input latency because it's just gonna feel better. Like, I don't need to predict roll, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, there's the attack. I should have rolled fucking 2 seconds ago instead of now. Because the input latency demands it, so it's probably not that much, but...
Welcome. Please
Go ahead, help yourselves.
I think that's pretty similar to the other one we ran earlier. Let's see here. Let's bring it up and switch it over. This is the first one we ran with the everything maxed out custom setting. Which, oh yeah, I did change it to custom because it turned on DLL AA. But this is the same, just with the anti-aliasing turned off completely. So no TAA smoothing or anything like that. And then this was the same one we pretty much just did, except with ray tracing turned on and DLL AA native. And then this was everything. No, this is just ultra with DLSS quality. And then this one is with frame gen. So average FPS around, yeah. Oh yeah, and these 3 tests, I guess, as in 150 with 96 is HDR because it's darker, and then you turn it over here and you can see how it's brighter, which is SDR. I don't really know if HDR SDR has a performance impact. I really don't know. So this is no native, no anti-aliasing at all. DLLA, DLSS quality, frame gen, DLSS quality, and our latest test, which was no ray tracing, DLAA native, and every other test has been with ray tracing cranked to the maximum. Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited for Monster Hunter Wilds, and I hope you got some insight, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.